All right, very good evening and welcome aboard to the Podium show every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight, where we preview and review everything out of motorsport, the local scene, African scene, as well as on the international scene on this 31st day of March 2025. Only hoping that everything has shifted away from the last time we did run this show as usual. Tugawakoze mufuna birungi twebaza Katonda tumusaba tusekone birungi birala kuba bete bigwa then nabachafunye mu buzibuzi better still tumusaba temere kumpenda simuko buzibu obwo tulivinga obulamu obuli better. The Podium of TV ne ku 102.1 Fafama zone ziri under the familiar services yoso kubango sangano Fafa complex Mengo plot 879 Albert Cook Road oyinza okwena chawo kubango langa ku radio 102.1 Fafama bane ku TV the of Ghana Sport surely ojja kubango so kubango isawo cho isawo kumpeu iza Fufa TV ne 102.1 Fufa Farmer. The Podium every single man is a question on the program, and we have a lot regarding the world of motorsport is concerned. We now know refresh from the historical performance in the recently concluded WRC Kenya Safari Rally. Atwega seko ate tujja kwega tugatibwako the driver we naye wali Kenya. Then of course the ESL regarding that event. Then of course you are saying an NRC which is upon us from the 4th of the 6th of April 2025. Kale kanse bano ge wenga babuzako lero banyatandikira nenga program eno sokubango gira bona osinziro kubango li across the entire world ngokosa the familiar app which you can always download from the Play Store or App Store yo oja kubango sokula Fufa TV obano kubango uliza 102.1 Fafama ona osinziro kubango li across the entire world. Kale, I've had a very, very good sporting week. Mani sport jita equalizer fe. Amid this challenges zili munsi. But mu sport, you really move on with life because challenges zibadde ndo za ero nimot of challenges zibadde zaliwo weziri zijja kubeerawo but even solutions nazo zibadde zaliwo ate zijja kubeerawo. Kale, ero buuza kwatana batuliza. Then we pick it up from there.
Abatulaba mwena ku Fufa TV naba batuliza ku 102.1 Fufa FM sanso kubeera ku wano namwe nateera nakulwa leero bologulwa leero kusoka kwa bina choka nevaze management ya Fufa Media Services ne Fufa okutwaliza awamu tuwakisaka nokubeera ku kompeo zayo nga twogera ku muzanyo gutusinga okwagalanga ffe ogwe motoka z'empaka then soka nyongera okwebaza bona abawayakadde ne batulaba ne batugoberera twebaza nnyo tuyaliza ddala naye era nyongera okwebaza abo bona abafunye essanyu oba kusanyukiramu n'abafunye essanyu nti Mukama abo bali basanyusa nenammwe abafunye obuzibu tunakukalira wamu nammwe era netusaba Mukama asobola obbayisaawo.
Okay, Ahmed, fresh from Simanya Kakumawo.
Okay, atonye ggulo.
Okay. Kwesa obuzekana watulana batuuliriza.
Abatuuliriza nsanyusa okubalaba. Mildred KIBUUKA. Navigator.
Okay, Mildred, wali kufisa kadi twegatako biggest your tight schedule. Nendo's we are going to first have Timothy from Kenya. Yali ne Mildred mu event here which was concluded recently. Atwayemuko naye via Zoom call. Then tujja kudana mu show media to experience your safari. I really like okubanga mpulira how things fared for the crew. How things unfolded for the crew. Yeah. Okay, we have Timothy on the line and Tim, good evening and pleasure joining us this evening.
And the team there, and it's always a pleasure to have these conversations of motorsport with you. I hope I can hear me clearly.
Okay, going to okay, yes.
Can you hear me?
Pleasure joining us this evening. Okay, you're live on Fufa TV as well as Fufa FM. Requesting you to say hello to our dear listeners and viewers.
Trial.
I lost you there. Come again. I didn't hear you quite well.
Okay, you're live on Fufa TV as well as 102.1 Fufa FM. Requesting you to say hello to our dear listeners and viewers.
Trial.
Yes, I'm really happy to be here, and I'm joining this call via Zoom from Kenya.
Trial.
My name is Timothy Kinoti. I am a rally driver based here in Kenya.
Trial.
Okay, team, thanks for sparing time and joining us. Amidst your tight schedule, we have in studio, we have Aaron Samba, a renowned co-driver in Uganda, as well as your co-driver, Mildred Chibuuka, the person you're with in the recently concluded WRC Kenya Safari Rally. She should be able to wave to you and say hello to you, Mildred. Team is there. Okay, team.
Nice to see you.
Okay. Okay, for the betterment of our viewers and listeners, maybe you can run us through your motorsporting biography. If I hear the name Timothy Kinoti, what should come in my mind as far as motorsport is concerned?
Arcadios Motorsport should be the first thing that I think that comes to mind. No kidding. So I just joined motorsport a while, not a very long time ago, but I've been involved in in different activities within the motoring scene here in Kenya, and also the famous East Africa Classic Rally, which I think quite a number of people from the East Africa community have been participating. It has always been a desire for me to be an active rally driver. But of course, like any other person, it's not a very small feat. You need to take time to think and reflect in terms of the journey that you're going to embark on. And but without much conversation around that, it happens in a way that you have to put yourself together. You have to sort a few things before you get into racing. And very happy to work with Mildred Chibuuka, a very, very experienced navigator from Uganda in this just concluded WRC Kenyan Rally Championship category. We were able to use, we drove our Toyota Run-X. It's a two-wheel drive. It's the first time that car has ever been in a rally, but that was not the first rally event it has done. It's a car that we built here in Kenya anyways, and we were very impressed by the performance of the, and also the performance and the dedication of the team that was put, into maintaining the car during the whole trial. Over to you, Kesh.
Itself. Before being in like your first outing in the event, having that desire to start competing, what were you doing in the backgrounds as far as motorsport is concerned? Were you in any position of leadership or assisting someone in terms as far as motorsport development is concerned in Kenya?
Yeah, I've been working around with existing teams. For example, I used to work with Minty Motorsport. That was very heavy when it came to classic rallies. I also worked with the 7070 where Bengi, Charan, and Mindo Gatimu are patrons. And we've been together, especially with the duos, with the trio, not duo, the trio, for quite a while. And that's when I got to really get exposed a lot when it comes to motorsports. And working closely with Minty was an opportunity also for me to see the different dynamics of how local and international teams are organized. So I would say my years of period of exposure was really into understanding how the sport operates, what you need to have in place so that when I'm setting up my team, it becomes an easier process. And I think that's something I would advise people who are interested in joining motorsport. Get attached to an existing team so that you get to learn from them and you'll be able to pick your ropes from them.
Okay, then in terms of, let's get into the event itself, or even then, the choice of car. Why the Run-X among all drive cars?
Well, I did a lot of research, and I'll never forget this day when we started to, get that car. And my research showed that Run-X is quite a very capable car, and in some cases, I think it's a car that has not yet been utilized to its optimal performance. It's a car that, being a two-wheel drive, it's not as expensive as a four-wheel drive car. And I think that's the best entry for someone who wants to start, motorsport without looking at hefty bills. In that case, I'll give an example. For example, at the consumption of tires. A four-wheel drive consumes all the four tires as it moves, but a two-wheel drive, of course, you'll have to consume the front tire and play around with changing tires if you're racing on a tight budget in that case. So, given the advice that I had gotten that time when we were shopping for what car to drive, it's all advice were leading to let's start with a two-wheel drive. And then from that point, we can build it. And I kid you not, Toyota Run X, the 2ZZ engine is really something that even legends admire every other time you see drive that car. And by the way, I was having a conversation with a very experienced driver, and they were telling me as they're thinking of going back to two-wheel drive because there seems to be, an upcoming competition when it comes to those cars. And Run X, of course, ticks the boxes quite a lot.
Okay, so that decision of getting into the Run X was based on research. Okay, let's get into the event itself. You run us through how the event unfolded for you. Guys were making news all over on social media, getting that podium in the two-wheel drive category. It's a historical moment, should be in your life. Synonymous with Mildred. She's of late in Kampala previously before she went in for the safari. She used to pick our calls, but ever since that podium, she no longer picks our calls.
I think Mildred came to Kenya with blessings from Uganda, And I feel like perhaps she will tell us the truth. It's that she came here to either win something, but go back home empty-handed. But anyways, I kid you not, WRC is a high pressure, event. And it's something that I've not experienced in my life before. And when we were going there, one of the things that we agreed with Mildred is to make sure we get to the finish line. Let's make sure every single we're bringing the car back to service. Little did we know that every single day was a learning moment. And we were gaining our momentum as we moved along. And that's how we got into winning the category. We didn't go there with the winning, beating anybody first. We were going there because this was my first event. And she came in to walk with me this journey, which, it's a moment I really treasure in this sport that I'm into. And we were very, very happy to see ourselves win the two-wheel drive category and emerging 15th overall. I think we were a total of 25 cars that were under the Kenya National Rally Championship category. That was really impressive. And thanks to every that was involved in this whole, journey. And also thanking our sponsors who came in to support us and that our rallying experience was, something to be happy about.
Okay, then any challenges within the event that you faced that maybe, since it's a learning process, that you can probably work on come the next event, or even other future events that you definitely compete in?
Well, one thing I'm learning as we move along is that a rally car is a work in progress. There's no time that you would say you have a fully built car. And there are two things or three critical areas that I've seen. Number one, you need to have a very trustworthy team who is willing to work with you, day and night. And Mildred will tell you, when she came the first time, she saw people working quite late in the garage, making sure all nuts and bolts are properly, tightened and nothing is left to chance. I think the other critical aspect that comes to, play here is that you need financial muscle, you need financial support, and that comes in different ways. There's money that comes from family, friends, and sponsors. And for us, we were lucky to get all those ticking the box. And our is, were really supportive of us to make sure that, we are into this sport. And we also really thank our, our main sponsors. We had Galana Energies, where they gave fuel, and Enoch lubricants, just to make sure our car uses the best, products out there in the market. We also worked very closely with President Automotive, who are very good in terms of making sure we got the genuine parts. By the way, the Precision made sure we did not get to use, most of the second-hand parts, but giving us access to genuine Toyota parts, which are very helpful. And a good example is how we managed to go through and pass the fresh without the car being choked. Fresh, the dust is very fine dust, and it's something that every driver was dreading, but we powered through, and we saw ourselves going through that whole section without much challenges.
Okay, before I ask you more, maybe Mildred can also come in there, and Aaron as well, with a couple of questions. Mildred, your driver is there, and you can bombard him with any question if you...
I would just love to congratulate him and Mildred on completing a very hard safari rally.
You had the issues in first.
Yeah, it's always anyone's rally driver or co-driver's dream to come out of that stage and standing on the podium. Everyone would have loved to do that stage or at that podium for a finish, but not everyone who achieves it. So congratulations upon that, and I think that's in the bag. So the next thing will be maybe to cross over to Uganda and we come enjoy more. Yes.
Yeah, it's literally telling you that we have our next international event is next month. Next month, but because tomorrow is first.
Yeah.
It's in May, the Pearl of Africa rally. And you mind getting back to coming to Kampala and trying to tussle out with these two drive guys here in Kampala?
Absolutely. I've had, Kampala has some serious two-wheel drive drivers there, and we would be interested to come and, sweat it out and see, show them how a Kenyan made RNX can.
But I really doubt whether I will still have Mildred with you. I don't know, later I could give you a confession. Will you co-drive the guy when he comes over?
Why not?
It's not going anywhere. We're saying that deal we had.
Okay, maybe the other question in there is, given your experience away from the cockpit, Kenya used to have that influx, call it a big number of entries when it comes to their local events. What in your view, what caused the dwindling number of entries on the Kenya National Rally Championship? Of course, people are given different attributes to COVID and the rest. Maybe could have a different one as well, and probably avail remedies. I don't know if you can talk to President Muturi as well, so that the championship can be revived, because Kenya was one of those countries in Africa with an influx of very many competitors. But previously, over the years, you've seen events having less number of entries.
You're very right that, in Kenya we used to have very huge competition entries, and that the numbers have been going down over time. But, Kesh, this is how I'm looking at it. I'm very optimistic in terms of the direction sport is taking and sports generally, in this country and also in the region. And perhaps one of the things that we always, sometimes we kind of forget is that the Kenya Motorsport Federation, it's a federation, it's an organization, it's an organ, and an organization has a life of its own, and it needs to be allowed to live, on its own as it is. So what that looks like is that there are always seasons for every, kind of organization. There are moments when the organization is up here, there are other times when it's low down, and it's life. And that's even how our countries are run. But for me, the most important thing is, how do you get out of the rut when you're having, organizational changes that are, you could be And so far, I would say that there's a lot of progress that is ongoing. You look at just the number of people now who are interested in joining motorsport here, getting back. It's quite impressive. We've seen, the numbers that have joined the KNRC for this category of WRC, the KNRC category under WRC, quite big numbers they are coming back. And it's not all lost. All I would say is that it's a matter of time until we get things sorted out. And I'm very sure, with the drivers, the goodwill of the government and other, senior management comes to sports, we'll be able to bring back the glory better and stronger. I believe that these are normal, cycles of organization, and it's the high time people get to understand when these changes are happening, you give an organization its own life. Let it be. It's an organ that exists, and let it serve the people that it's supposed to serve.
Okay, then in terms of you starting with Iranix, maybe for the in the near future, without because normally tool drive cars are entry point cars. People they are defined as entry point cars. Someone comes, like you said earlier on, getting experience, exposed, and knowing how things are meant to be done. If you upgrade from that, although it's a bit early, what would you go in for, Subaru and a Mitsubishi, and why any of the two?
That's a question I've always been asking myself. Do you go to a Mitsubishi or what else? And I don't know. I feel like I would want to try something a little bit different, from the norm. Of course, pending availability of, funds and the like. I'm getting to enjoy what Toyota can offer. And as you can see, what Toyota is doing even in WRC, that would be, a very big, option for me to continue racing the Toyota brand as much as possible. But in case the brand there is not as easily reachable, of course, would be going to where people have tried, what has been tried and tested, and that would either be a Subaru or, an Evo. But again, which of the brands, when it comes to Subaru, I feel like either an N10 or 12 would be quite a good starting point. And Evo here in the one that I see kind of performing much better and easily, you get its parts easily, is an Evo 10. But I think going Subaru N10, N12 seems to be quite a solid choice if I'm to pick those. But given a chance, I still want to retain Toyota and see what other options are there.
Okay, then the Safari being your first event, are you doing this year's KNRC, or you do selected events, or you're going in for the Tool Drive Championship in the KNRC?
So yeah, I've really thought about continuing to do the KNRC so that fight for the championship the whole year. That's a really good option for us, but of course, there are quite a number of other interesting events. I've come to realize that when you have a 3-day event, you kind of make mistakes, and recover within the same event, and you're able to fight your title back or get yourself into a good position. There are other events, for example, in Voi, May 1st of May to the 3rd, we have about a 1,000-kilometer rally event in Voi. We're very much interested in doing that, and I know that really kind of puts us in an interesting position, because we also wanted to do the Pearl of Africa in Kampala, and we just were still weighing our options. It's a conversation we are having to see which is best. It would be nice. I think the mini classic style of events, I did that in December, and it was very, very interesting and very fun to be part of.
Any parting shots to the Ugandan fans out here who saw you in Kenya, putting up a very good performance today, to the extent of even being on podium and finishing 15th overall in that prestigious event?
Mine is just to tell everyone, and especially my family and friends from Uganda, thank you so much for giving me your daughter Mildred KIBUUKA to come and navigate me. By the way, when I got in touch with her, I didn't know she had navigated other Kenyan drivers, namely Benji.
How is her Swahili? Is it okay, or it's maybe taka kwa and
terrible. She needs to spend some time here in Nairobi.
She needs to.
Yeah, we need her around here. So for me, it's to really thank the community there. It's really amazing, and thank you so much, Mildred, for thousands of kilometers to come and enjoy a ride and navigate me in two-wheel drive. I know you're used to bigger things than that, but thank you so much. I think to our fans, we are not going to let you down. The car is back in the garage. We are rebuilding it again just to make it ready for upcoming events here in Kenya and Uganda that we are anticipating. To our sponsors, yes, we are really looking forward to continue working with you, Galana Energies and Precision Automotive. Thank you. And let's see how the future, what it holds for us. But we're very hopeful to continue with the positive performance and gains that we've made. Thank you so much to the team as well. We'll never forget the team that has been working behind the scenes, our mechanics, our managers, the event organizers. These are fantastic opportunities that guys are giving us, and we are very grateful to that.
Okay, Tim, thank you very much for joining us, and I wish you all the best in the near future. Definitely talk to you in the near future. Whenever there are events, the platform is always open, and Mildred is here. She's just there. But you please advise her to start picking calls, despite the fact that she performed well in Safari. I don't know, are you sending her any tutorials in as far as learning Swahili is concerned?
Sorry, about tutorials, I think Mildred she's my trainer there. So I would rely on her advisory quite a lot and what should happen. But yeah, we are looking forward to engaging any new drivers around there. I hope I got you right there.
Okay, Tim. Thank you very much, and have a good night.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, that was Timothy KINOTI from Kenya. We go in for a short commercial break. We took them out, talk, of course, tutandikana given at what the experience of Safari, namely the first from Kenya, at we experience it, then of course, at Lida Mugene, to Simu Swahili, Uganda, Wango, Swahili, but utankanya kuzoom, what kanya kuzoom. Kare katukomeo. All right, we'll be back from that short commercial break. It's a Podium every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight, where we preview and review and even the out of motorsport, local scene, African scene, as well as on the international scene on this 31st of March, 2025. Aaron Sama, MILDRED KIBUUKA, fresh from Fish. Also to experience here, Safari. Team at what day, and very, very excited. Aaron, those are some of the moments so cherishing in life. MILDRED kubanga posting ekifaananyi ku one of the forums. I think Yabako drivers number it's worth $1 million. The amount of money you can't even quantify it. Ile photo ngali ku podium eyo producer jato ifananye be mase ngali ku podium nga the ramp the
Gondi we yayimirira
Tanak
Evans we yayimirira Mildred yayimirirawo
walaga waya kuna fu nkifananye cha
Tanaka
ngagala kudda
nambalalale
nagaze nja kampala kama namuko bako why sigara yo experience ya safari.
Well, Safari Rally was quite a very huge experience in my career, rally career. I really appreciate the opportunity. I was called on Wednesday?
The week before?
Yes. Just, when I don't watch rally, I am not a rally fan. I either go to participate or I stay home and do my work. So I wasn't going to go, not even to watch. Yes. Kati when nafune we bangamba nti no balonze ko muwala because many names were sent. Yes. When Jackson sent that sabire namunyo ne mubuza balonze nangamba actually balonze muwala konzani. So at first I thought balonda omuwala oli omulala nangamba balonze gwe. Kati I think he was trying to ask around erinnya eryali liwulikiddwako.
Because I took it in a interview. I got to know that maybe I could even
yes, and Charan is one of the team leaders he has on his team. So namubuza namugamba I don't know how I missed that one. Kubanga their navigators are expensive. Bali
Chimbulire muna kadde mwako kadde mtu kawulire
ba navigator be Kenya ba beyi tomusonga ko nga toyinamu nga toli nga team teri set bulungi. And at this point bali bagala kusala kukweyo heavy cost kubanga I think gwe bali na yali awanise beyi. Kati I was willing because kyechintu kyenali njagala okukola for a very long time. At least before I retire, I'm retiring soon. Yes, I am. I'm retiring soon. So, Kati, I had no paperwork like ngane license sijijanga yonga civil because remember I didn't do the NRC one. So ngangamba later just in case I even drive here. Guno mwaka nga civil. So I had to do all the paperwork in one day. Some of my attires had expired, bagala bipya. Biliko. From the inner wears to the shoes to the stockings atomanyi wano. Tetubifaako nnyo so nalina okubinoonya in one day. So then bangambanga leero the next day nga nyina osimbula. Kubanga there were a series of meetings and a lot of happenings going on. Ate nali missing ebimala because byali byatandika like a week back. Kati awo oinogenda nolaba emmotoka you see it and see where your safety lies. So kugitunuulira n'ogamba ekyo sijja kigenda nakyo. You can compromise on anything else but not safety. Yes. So nafuna obudde obumala ne tugenda e Machakos ne tuyita ne tulaba how the car is ne tuyita mu notes language je tunakozesa. Yes, to bond. We had to bond. Nanyumizanga bwe.
Awo aliambuze. Mu Kiswahili medium ebachi.
Medium esigala medium.
Medium esigala medium. Ne mu Luganda. Medium obadoga.
Soma ota mu medium.
Wala esiga mu Luganda cha medium.
Makati.
Kale Kiswahili mwatekanga mu kino ati ya kumanya.
Bwe bimbo mali na malo kulaba. Kati the roko mutugentula naye wa Kiswahili. Era waliwo ebigambo ebimu ebiri mu notice zaffe goziwo omulala n'abuuza kabisa kitegeeza ki natajja tajja kitegeera naye ffe nga tumanyi ffe nze bwe manyi nti bwe muta 200 back off kabisa medium right tujja bakitegedde bulungi naye kakaswahili koogasseemu paka juu paka juu paka juu lwe luswahili tukugattagattamu mu notes
nasomeraga afande lule twatuuka kutiseemu emmotoka tukyakalanyeeko emabe kati okuwaayo akatabo n'ebirala kati nayogera oluswahili kutiya namba masho n'agamba boss you've said nothing kwayina lutegedde oluswahili so we had to revert ne tudda mu finally. Yes, Mildred.
Meanwhile, what I realized in East Africa, to have fun and enjoy the whole region, you go Swahili. You have to learn. It has a church.
It's even in the East African community. So now again, those Kenya, Tanzania, those two countries, Kenya and Tanzania,
Burundi,
Rwanda as well.
Rwanda tebajja tegera luzungu. Oba tomanyi Kinyarwanda, Swahili.
Then so, if some bit of French, I tell you they are shifting.
Now we know what biwanvuko. So tugende hapa habari nzuri. Tusigalao.
Tujatereza mpola. So twakola training and we really bonded wali aba KTN, that is Kenya Television, there were different media houses. Nefe twaliyo ne Kavisi ne
Evans.
Yes.
Evans Kavis.
Yes. Okay. And some other guys who were trying to train. Actually, tamanyi nti on ground, those people are many. Naye bakole motoka zaabwe, they train, because they have many training grounds. Ne banyumirwa ne baddeeka. Because I think when politics settles, bajja kudda. Naye nga they are not seated. They are there. They are working on their cars in good conditions. But Kenya never training. They were training.
But there's another even much comfort in Rally Cross. We see the entries are Rally Crossing and in comparison to Kenya.
Yeah. So we trained. Katinetwesanga, that was a Sunday. We had to drive 80 kilometers. Kusamunana. Okuva Machakos to Nairobi, then from Nairobi to Naivasha, ugenda okukola paperwork.
Administrative checks.
Yes, administrative checks. Hey, nayo situation teyali nyangu. It was something that took us. We had to figure out how we are going to do it. Kubanga, it's like coming from Masaka to Kampala, then to Jinja. Nga joino kukolera administrative checks at that time. Nebatukwira ne batugamba you're late sawa 11. Kati tunatuuka nga tudduka. But then when you give up on like no gamba kati ekijja kijje naye nja kutuuka. Twatuuka ne Naivasha ne tugenda ku Naivas ngajele tuloma. Ne tugamba tusooke tulye tukute batutwale nga kaguddeyo naye nga tukuse. But then etugenda take on paperwork. Unfortunately okuva olwe yateekayo entry yayitaddanga mu kufuna email kati ng'abuuza is there any communication naye nga email zajjanga nga zigenda ku mail ya Timothy Gawaya kuba yagendayo na complaining and ne bamugamba we've been sending you emails and you're not responding nga waliyo certificates. Okay. These days okuvuga WRC you need to sit exams.
Yes. Those are via university certificates.
Yeah, we had to sit for 3 exams. Nga twali twakozeeko emu. Ng'ebbiri baziposting ate twazira because the emails were missed. We had to sit
for exams.
Yes. Ku saa 12 nga baggalawo secretariat. Netuzikola and you had to get 100%. Teli kuddamu. Ate kale people are doing them from home. Naye ffe kuba twakola last minute omuzungu yali ayimiridde awo. Ng'alaba you're reading, you're answering. You're reading, you're answering. Kati if you click on the wrong button ngagamba what's wrong with you? Are you ready? Can I cancel?
Was it in the form of an objective form or?
No, it's
like they first give you a tutorial.
Yes. Then you answer the questions.
Then you answer the questions. Naye questions, the way you answer them, ebera mu objective form.
Are they basic questions?
Yeah. No, the first paper was basic. Then the second was about safety.
These fear university courses that you call leadership and management, which safety. It's interactive. You read, they tell you about something, then at the bottom of it there's a question, and the answer is actually in the tutorials. Yes, the extract. So you have to just be careful and obeying.
So literally you had to pass them before.
Pass 100%.
Both you and the code and the driver.
Yes. Kati yasoka nakola fe bitwalina computer yasoka nakola nga nze nayagala okubba nkolenga sajja wait naye nga ntunula kusaba ngambye exam egala what 6 o'clock
because it's an online one. Yeah,
it's an online one.
6 nekona to nga ndi ku number 5
out of what?
30 24 30 around there. Nenjikola negwa. So we managed to hand in netufuna certificate. Wejifunira wa certificate. Kati certificate eno ojiwereza mu secretariat ne bagiprintinga ne bagisa mu file yo.
Nice, it's a prerequisite for you to a part of the administration.
Yes, so that kubanga chenalaba nti our tracking devices ndala nnyo.
Actually those are mwali musumarale tracking and timing.
Tracking, timing and safety.
Exactly.
Yes.
Course badde complete Fear University. Yes.
What another option here in Uganda? That's
I'll send you the link.
Actually, of course, okutambula abaganda bakutambula kuyiga okudda kunyuma. Is it are we at that level that Uganda we also have the same?
We must.
It's not so bad
actually,
for you.
It's becoming a prerequisite.
Even if
I understand you go bit kugamba one. Nti tulina obisoma.
Kati keshi sichi byokuba na information yeyo. Kirungi certificate ejja. You keep it. I've seen people like Hamza Rwanga, Leon Senyange, Jackson J. Many people have been doing those courses.
And we are going to start
slowly by slowly.
What is Rwanda? We had graduates.
Nakakola Konya. There are like 8 of them. Kugundi kuliste ziliko. Kuliko nga 12. Nakakola ko buna. Era ndoza njala kuno nayo gudde obumu omwaka guno manya mwezi ogujja. Nkoleyo bulala bubiri kubanga about your concentration tula wansi chiwo obudde dakika 1 hour nja kuba mazo okusoma answer the questions ekigiye ko nja kulinda certificate eja kujja
ate they know they keep track bakubuza erinya bamanya golina
by the way bakuba bakumanya.
So I think je bujjanze nyinako mukaga certificates so wano nali ngenze nkoze 3 but unfortunately nalioza nti ze nakola wano zinantasa nyabo
So very more event after those administrative checks. Reiki?
Yeah, we got books. Then in Kera net, kujita no revising and no lava because big books. No. Then in Kera, we had to be on stage. We call it Reiki. To catch time. Kola omulundi ogwo. There is of course time card Reiki book jebakuwa gyokozesa Reiki ebera different from gyokozesa eri so ebera kulaga nti no inokola pass 2 naye because of time tosobola zikola.
So you use a on-board camera no recording
ate kati ffe nze nawandiikanga nga mmanyi tetuddamu twaddamu emu muzabibu because it was sort of yali too tight. Yes.
Start one.
Start ate neri munda ngeri tight nyunyu ngeri mu dips eri bends nyingi so kati naji ate it was like 12 kilometers eyo jo najiddamu era actually bwe twamala okuconfirming olulimi lwe tugenda okukozesa nakyo kyali kikulu nnyo eyo section eyasooka bwe twagimalayo ne mugaa tugiddemu nga ngisoma kati bwe twagiddamu nga ngisoma nendaba nga abitegedde tugayi
ebirala tusigere tujja bikola ekyo yatukola gumu
naye yasinga okumpa obuzibu Camp Moran. It was hili yali mu musenyu mungi ng'ate eri mu lusozi lw'amaanyi ng'ate tewaliwo wakwatirako 135. It was so tight. Mu rocks, yes. Mu nsozi. Yampera ddala obuzibu. Era namubuuza oba tugiddemu, it was 33 kilometers. Ate ye kasita ekintu akiteeka mu mutwe nitugayo kino. Okay,
we go in for a short commercial break. When we get back, Mildred is still telling us the experience. The event in our city, which is upon us, the round 2 of the National Rally Championship. Apparently, which I couldn't make the position on Akataka. Producer, I talk into list massive. Cut come after the short commercial break. All right, so we'll be back from that short commercial break. It's the Podium show we're back every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight. We'll preview and review in the world of motorsports on this 31st day of March 2025. We're going to have a Isidamu, Aaron knows some of our invites on any Mildred. What about the way you quit?
Abasilamu bakwano bange bonna bankubyeka bakozeka pass.
Wana yewali twawala bawali.
Dwa.
Wali?
Yeah, zinga ndaba. Alikuwa natuse no globe maker. Today is what? Saturday, Friday. Nasibulula abantu ku office. Leta watu basibulu kuka. Ayade manyo abo nasibulula. Mubama nangamba ntisebo. Jangu. Tewali kasimu.
Kale wagala for Islam zawadi ne a very good holy month of Ramadan. Yani kat 17 mwasave tunaberenga baibatu sako idi yabade yabona ku bajjo abagirangirira ku Saturday and usimu bwaita enga ole same
alwa mu abadi ganyinyati bakize ku Sunday bakize ku Monday Monday no tu ajifude omwana yarabo omwezo yatwangu yanyanyimba
okay never break all days out this year
so that's the unlucky
weekend
is to gase kona
tina Mildred Shibukano fresh from the Daras Kenya Safari Rally, one of Uganda's representatives by the way we event here. They're going to try in a number of representatives. There's a Miss African region apart from Kenya. Further down when representatives are wenako Ali Katumba, Gawaya, Francis Wamala, Mildred Shibukano to me. Of course, even others. Different stories are in our subsequent programs. Mildred, whether to go the actual running of the event itself after Reiki. Maybe Katono, I just got a message from one of our viewers of the show about how the terrain of the stages were.
Terrain. So different from what we have here. Rough, rocky. Ezitali zali ziseerera. Nga watali rocky waseerera. Kubanga tewali ate mayinja gakwatawo. Yali nnungiko yali Hell's Gate. Naye ng'ate olina oyambuka olusozi ng'emmotoka erwanira ku lusozi. Ate then n'otuuka n'okkirira ng'ate eri too loose ng'efuuse loose nnyo eyo ttakamoto gye yagwa. Because of the loose. Era twali tuvuga ne ngamba driver wange.
Mwasa takamoto.
No, ffe twamusanga kubanga yagwa mulundi gusembayo. Ffe nga twayiseemu dda blast loop. Bo bagivuga ebiri. Ffe twagivuga gumu.
Did you find mwasangamu the car behave? Yes. Mpozi waliwo mu section esooka ku Detu twaseerera
yaseerera neetuula lwalekezi towa. I try to push nga pe nga olinga anyiga wansi bwoti. So awo twafunamu challenge naye twamala ne tuvaayo mu section ne tugenda mu ndala ne tuvugayo emu ne tuddayo mu service in itinerary yaffe yali eweddeko naye nga bba abadde awulira basi bakyavuga abagundi aba P1.
Mwavuga sente zimeka in total?
Nabala Kasarani, then day 2 ne tuvuga 4, then day 3 ne tuvuga 4, ne day 4 ne tuvuga 3.
That's 8
plus 3
11 Kasarani.
Zali 18 tuvuga 18 bo bavuganga 26.
There were 21 stages.
Baziddamu anti waliwo ze baddamungamu.
Yeah, Aaron, I don't know. From giving me this scenario, I think the safari is one of those events in a code drive. Given that we all code drivers would want to really take part, and what Mildred achieved, it's a milestone. I was going to write and those.
I don't know. At possible video. I don't know where that couple.
I don't know where it's going. Going forward, by the way, she's one of those ones about Funa.
Alia Jabalete.
Ali, by the way,
Alia Binji. Tagalo Mubako.
Never middle school for watch it, she's a whole one chip. That's
a call Swahili.
There's a fine magic. It's one of those events that anyone would really want to be part of. I take at him, you have to need that experience. Even the Gawaias and Wamala and Francis Young and Donation Gamba.
It's too frustrating, even just participation. No milestone ebatende nenyonga dokwita screening or ise or to say or take it back start. Omanyo ogenda wa achievinga chimu ku chimu. Okwa appearinga ku entry list tunacho entry list abamba flaminga ne bagiteeka ku gundi. Ne bagiteeka ku kusenga ga entry list nalike ya 2025. Okitegeera. Nyamane bakola nti screening nyamane bapulumya start list nayo no flaminga. No jiteka ku kisenge
because there are 39 entries.
Okitegeera. Ogenda odjayo chimu chimu ng'oteeka ku kisenge. Milestone ogenda ozaachievinga mpula nti start list nayo flaminga n'oteeka ku kisenge. Signature ya George Mwanji wanzinga weri. Lack of the course. Normal ogenda achievinga mpula stage 1 nayo n'ogiyita mu 2 3 before you know oli ku final ramp. Eyo achievement dala eba nene. Chinga omusambi w'omupiira kino gye tuli wano kufufa. Every footballer's dream is to participate in a World Cup. Niyo kimanyi nti ne World Cup qualifier no yambale sati ya kuliko badge ya World Cup qualifier. Obonga asambe World Cup. Exactly. So that is the gundi jofuna. Katate teberezo ne yatuse ku World Cup. Ne bamusoma n'omusoma nti ajja kubaako oba bw'oba muzanyi wa mupiira ne bakusoma ku tiimu ensangise n'ejingira ekisaawe n'ensamba. It's huge.
That's another huge.
It's really huge. So tuwe comparing and olaba ffe tugenda ko Rwanda ku ARC tubanga abazanyi Africa Cup of Nations nawe n'otula onaka akakopo kojje e Rwanda walo mu Jonas Kiyansubya twamala 4th overall ne Jonas oyo was it 2020 katete we Mildred bagwa katetera ye Rwanda bagala omujja mu kifo kya 5th overall nagane twechanga tufuluma tugenda na tufunye kakopa
nalina kitaka
kakopa ako
akakopo kanuma naye ndo
mabizira
nitwabizira twabizira tugende waganya okuteka ku na Uganda tubireke tubibalekere ne tutambula
they never terabiwereza
naye nebyaffe babiwereza babiwereza ate twabifuna babiwereza keke
okitegeera so ekintu ekyo kinene nnyo so Mildred gwendoza n'ogambye nti ogenda kuwummula
maybe on the same note is it because of this achievement that you're going in why you had a predicament mind
honestly
oyinza okutugamba nti olwokuba wakiivinze kiri kati
I thought you would be
omaliriza
just starting now with that achievement.
mukyala nyina ogenda nenkola ku birala maama buli lunaku banandaba ku screen.
Then Mildred, any other experience that you want to share with the public out there?
Well,
The distances, those are the distance of the safari itself. Nayondo, it's also another different order, of, different game of its own.
Distance yatulyawo bannange. It's like ng'ovuga transport from here to Lugazi, ovuga transport. Genda okole service okomewo. It was terrible. So naye nga balaba nga eri doable. Naye nga ffe abaali basemba emabega ng'okugituukiriza olina okudduka nnyo. Naye nga track atekula kasita etandika okuwoninga check speed.
The minimum on the road.
Yes, naye ffe twaga tukole bw'ebanga track egamba 160 tujja kola 159. Ne tusobola okutuuka ku sections nga tezinna closingibwa.
They give you the time it's what because of the budget slow.
Kwana ebyalwala time temalanga.
Just imagine I think that you call WRC. Tebo yabaina ne WRC to category ne izabwe nti bo baba priority. Nti gwe bojanga somehow ojja kuba affectinga gundi eno safety convoy yabwe ya WRC 1 Duoyingira mu budde bwa safety convoy eno bato kyagenze wakiri bakuteeka ebbali safety convoy yayetandike banga jukira safety convoy bajiwa 2 hours over before the first car kati safety convoy webe etandise muli mu delegate simanyi safety car muli mu bani ko safety ko fans safety officer muloka nga 5 fe tumanyi tutakuteka yo 3 e Kampala Uganda
000
ne kati bo walina
okay
Okitegera
nebo safety delegate na item fans safety delegate na item safety officer na tambula ne bata 0 bata 0 bata 0 watuko kutera ku 0 oyino kubanga gwe wabadde wagenze dda na elieso kati na kusanga yes obodileyinga bano obodileyinga jukira kati nga watu achogerako wano nti WRC babagambye tandika sawa 2:15 2:15 first key no kubanga itandise kati gwe bobanga oyingira mu kya 2:15 zino tasobola kuwa budde
Kampala kiri kitya
Kampala tukyabitereza
Kampala to adjusting according to weather n'abavuzi betulina ku lupapula
abantu gamba itinerary ne tulaga nti first car ya 750 nebeera 925
tugenda tubigeze biterera
you don't even well I'll give an example the last event in Fort Portal the anticipation of okay according to the itinerary or Fulma Hotel where the start was overnight park family start park family tandika stage but even they missed it so you could hardly say what could there was a guy story allegedly then took ku TC it's a dead control I think it's more or less I think if I don't know what Masanko in the dead controls then they were fezili
katinga okuva KICC okutuuka Kasarani yebera dead control then
that KICC for the ceremonial start okujja Kasarani mu super special
naye naffe normally first control ever tusanga bagifudde dead kuba you know tumanye okupayiringa awo bangi ate ne mulinda bamasho beesotinge naye tewali kwesotinga kwa bamasho
ojira and I think being a member of the Marshals Association that is one of the issues kuba computers abamu if Mildred wabafuna issue ku transport I get an advantage if I'm competing with them in 2 aspects. One, pace mu stage. 2, nga balina issues ne motoka. That's how I gain advantage. Of course, chiba partner you won't want them to get and we are pound for pound. But certain things so cameras can misbehave binje bera tire yabizo mupira overheating binje bera ku motoka.
You need a control.
Naye kati ova ku out of park for me start jam ku TC1 kwange leba TC0 jangu TC1 TC1 nayabye omupiira newakuba of course I know obudde wa transport nagukuba nakyusa aba atambula nayabye ogwokubiri nakuba nakyusa others carry 2 spare tires others carry 1 spare tire then nabeera if he was given to 15 minutes or 20 nabeera late onto that TC1 control inze yandibadde afuna advantage out of her
delays because of punctures
teziriiwo number 2 nakiraba ne in the last event or the last year's event I think Hoima the last event of the year the stage yaliemu stage zali zigatta start zali bbiri nga zigatta start naye nga stage okuva ku service twajjanga okukola stage eyesooka nga it's a dead control netujja netukola ogwokubiri netujja gikola ogwokusatu as a power stage nga control eri active nga control naye nga ate obudde bakwadde okuva ku TC okuva out of service ojje ku TC ku stage eyo bwali butono because that control was not active tebakiraba nti obudde butono so ne bafuna penalties as a result of that time gye baali bagabye nga ntono because earlier on that TC was a dead control.
Zedoza ngabo okyogedde kiddeyo ku ba designers of the rally ba 9 rally ba COC nti ekisoka kya byonna njala kujjawo kiri era doze ennaku ezisinga zinazo wembanga participate nze mu events ezimu tugezezzaako nnyo okujjawo ekintu kyaddire the first TC oba TC1 how lwaki ota ka number 1 ne kana wacho ote motoka ine 1 minute interval ate nga zigenda kutuka ku TC zigenda mu 3 okitegeera so from the word to go zifulume pack oba zirwa mu pack start pack for over nedda zirwemu naye nga ogadde nti Bukenya nti va wano akuddiride 3 minutes interval alinde paka 3 zigwiteko aveewo ekyo kijja tuyamba ku TC jegenda ku TC1 tituka ku TC1 buli omunga alina kugira mu time ye ate namwe olwokuba obosanga TC1 nga yetegesedda tojja kusanga omotoka kubanga etuuka obudde bwayo bugituuka ojja gwekyo oba otandikiddewo gwafunye ebizibu pakca 2 n'otuuka leeti ng'omanya oliddeyo dakiika zo 3 30 seconds mpe Bukenya abadde anticipating obuzibu by'oli afuna advantage ye agende yes we are sorry ofunye ebizibu naye rules are rules otuuse leeti funa penalty yo tugende maaso ekyo kyekimu ekitugezaako kutu ekyokubiri nze ndowooza tekikola makulu kukeeza bavuzi sawa 12 balandike kuvuga transport kugenda ku start ya rally oba TC1 oba TC whatever ng'okimanyi nti gwe ng'omutegesi tojja kwachivinga kuteekayo bantu abali responsible for that section to run mu budde tikikola makulu okukyuza okeza abavuzi lwaga muvuge batuwe konto bagamba ati tabana kumaliza ku deploying basirikale safety chalimbi
kyetaaga nga first car wetuukira ku start nga ne safety zayiseemu dda nga ne reports zafulumye dda
I would rather tutandike omwami nti sawa 2 kitundu first kebe tuka control ne sawa 2 kitundu kimpe ample time okudeployinga abasirikale bange okudeployinga ba marshal bange okudeployinga ba safety officer bange emmotoka eno egenda okutuuka ku control mumanyi ka steam ekagwamu awo ku maca ku control esooka aze ali fired up genda kulwana n'abantu ne babatuuza 1 hour awo
kyasuubira mu maaso awo emmotoka egenda
oyo okutuuka awo ne bagamba muzambule
mubeera awo for 2 hours 1 hour
sawa namba
ngate mujja
abafana bananiko kuba awai kyekibaddewo ngate mutuka anti but holdings ase banyango but holdings ku start ku this so bisoboka okubawo as long as you've planned very well kitegera tuwetaka kukeza abantu kuba
deployment
tulishuwa bena abeerirede tekikola makulu kukeza abantu saa 12 ekitundu batandike kusatu kitundu stage
those are 2 hours
tekikola makulu wakiri bazuke ku 2 kusatu batandike kujjako transport ya dakika 15 ka morning service awo ka remote service transport at second dakika 25 atuka alifired up kati kuyingira stage those are taken direct no kutandika okukola ofuluma service ngoli ready no maze no okusiba element ngoli kunyweza kunyweza misipi kuyingira action
andi kati transport time je bakuwa out of service out that transport time je bakuwa you have the time to do it to gear up yourself
and that obuzugwe mutero kufuna
otuka ku
tuka control ngobunewo bwendeyo ate sinakusiba misipi ate
mashere mesho
yakulabira ddala kwa fresh start
kitegeeza nti wano tewakozesa budde bulungi wano wakati ate oluusi twesanganga okuva ku park fame overnight okutuuka ku start distance mpanvu noganza ngende nga ngira mu element yoko
kiba kirungi nnyo of course element oyinza okutagiteekako nojjako element yo nogiteeka mu magulu nga tutera okikola balakulavayo kweri bulungi
omanye ekisinga okunyiiza you can put on vote ekisinga okunyiiza nze bwe baba bavuga nga ndaba obudde kubamba ntunula ku budde ndaba bugwayo ntandika okwambala kaakati otuuse wabulayo eddakiika emu oyingire control driver ajjayo okugulwa agenda ne gloves emabega atandika ofigitinga ye wali bano abambala obunanka buhanizi banyiiza.
Okay, then maybe Katononyo about as we going for a break, the time cards, how any difference with the ones we
actually time card eri yasooka ndowooza bagijjako kubanga enera it's exactly what we use here.
So there was no
so slick, so easy
to use. Where you
actually time card etambula ne tracker. Ekiri ku track wali you don't even need to calculate time oteeka mu buteesi wano.
Then after you have a carbon, then you submit.
Tekuli carbon.
There is no carbon.
Oba oyagala okusigaza okuba kifaananyi.
Okay. You know, you print and stage. What stage abiri mwemu, the time card abiri mwemu.
Oba topetize nyumba.
The bit about it in the soul buteka cupboard, ogena ngozigata.
Era mashaji no nakugamba do you need a copy? Kujikuba ekifaananyi bwoba toyagala.
Okay, those are any other experience before we go for a break, before we go to Tugambi?
Experience, maybe preparations. To succeed, rather never kuzivuwalako etyanga yasanze oli mwetegefu. Tekumenya nnyo. Technical team ye ino kuba ku time naawe. Si bano nti no gundi yasuze egindi gundi mubasangawo. Amafuta ku refuel gabako so ebyo bintu byonna ebyo bikuyambako obutapanikinga mutuuse wali ku refuel utandise kuyita
bamakanika transport time hiyo is part of the transport
yes so
ureme yaliko mu event driver ne kode wali basizo balala as in separate
wacho yogera ku timu y'abasajja
sigena
kali omunanga nakalaba abawera
naye driver akuba kati driver alinga we kumi I'm just living in the flat nga 17 start order the first 10 cars zifuluma ko driver akola ki then the 11th car, 12th car, 13th car, Smell could do takwata, 17th car, there were 25 cars, 24th car, cool Arabica. Ale kulendala. Yo driver ko driver aliwo. Driver ataliwo. Yoga gitandike ofulume. Mwade inakuba kulu. Aone obona atulemo amateeka. Mokeri muti nti osogiteka. Ogisinike na ogirata. Competition. Right, we're going to break it come out. We're going to go NRC which is upon us. Number the national because he did win. Something you want. Okay, you All right, I'll be back from that short commercial break. It's the Podium show back every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight, where we preview and review in the world of motorsport, local scene, African scene, as well as on the international scene. Now, MILDRED, of course, in the Cash Manager program. And into our last segment of today's program, tulimu NRC is upon us this weekend. Producer saw two ebimu kubyakola ebya last year, maybe before that. I saw two introduce ntujitamu speed then netwogera ku bimu kubyakola event last year. Emu ku events by the way. Ezayogeza abantu abama nasa Mutebi winning that event.
Chogera ngo watochimbulira ko fair.
Ndichi. Gwagambe wa. That's your fair sibimanyi. But a very good performance from Nasa Mutebi. Dr. Mustafa Makasone Mwambazi. Jonas Mateo can see me. Kabla kata.
Kate
abali kufuatilia Dr. Siriko.
Kate muite mungalo Jonas Mateo can see.
Event twali tsobola okugira naye tabu yagwa. But producer shot work entry list.
Sasa singo kwenda bizo nkuba.
Kusaidia fe event yaina ebintu bingi. One, we posted the third best time. Producer kala soka natwa ku results last year. Stage ku stage, then you got to get an entry list as a preview about the twin. So the time speed. But for us we posted the third best time because just won the stage ya soka. Netuja posted the second best time. Then we posted the third best time. So netuja the other stage.
Yeah.
Eyokubiri. We posted the second best time. No, we posted because it was still Mangat.
Second best.
Yes, then waloni nasa Mutebao. Producer sort of times the stages ezo. Then tugenda kuja mukasawe nga we were second.
You are second.
We were second because Ponsiano era amaze blowing a engine. Yeah, atwa the entry list 24 entries. So to aku stage times, stage results is a event here. So to aku CS1, which was won by Just Mangat. Naye we had the penalty. To have a penalty after day one. So we na avamu gearbox ku transport nga jam overnight pack fame. Then now to take our so basically twali nnyo mu kunoonya muddetu twali nnyo mu kunoonya muddetu that tufuna the flat tire ne kitabuka kwate stage mu ne baji stages bid ne bazi red flagging emu was red flagged ya eyo luleji ya blocking that SMK tires that was the first stage
one yawangulwa Just Mangat posalo wakataka nakola second best then Jonas Matayo nakola third best
ne singola bakubudde bwa Ponsano ku Just zali 24 seconds nenga ate Ponsa kulaga nti ajisukumye fe moyo stage yatukuba 23 seconds moyo stage. I remember talking to him nga tugenda okutandika stage yokuwinaga bamuyitawa ntumuza gwoyitawa naga atoba mangati yayitira wadda simaina kumanya
bwe mwava mweyo mwagenda mu SS2 the worldwide movers dayiba bwava kilomita 28.7 era Just Mangati yajiwangula koze 15:43 ne diribwa Ronald Sebuguzi ne mugambwa 18:00 kwa mkule dakika 2 seconds 17 olwo Jonas Matayo kansime naba wa kusatu anga koze 18:03 mimi Sebuguzi yakwa seconds 3 ate Just nakube dakika 2 ne seconds 12 naye eyo stage yenyini ate Just yafunye obuzibu ku Sunday ate ne stage yenyini nasa Mutebi ina record time ya best
quick
top speed
231 yaina mu top speed ye very good times by Sebuguzi twali tusubira kuba nti so okumulira anakaawo but for Just of course differences time
bali muno nyakali akabumbi kali
ate mu stage nga position ya vam so genda kujja mu Kasaawe police sort of times za Kasaawe ivi kali ko
evira 1 Just Mangat yakola 136 Ronald Sebuguzi nakola 139 Jonas Matayo nakola 139.6 bakola time yemu ne Sebuguzi Jonas Matayo
then tabu ne gwa in fact tabu ya gwandoza mu run 1 tabu ya limu
kwa mageno kuda run 2 ngamanyi gala ikagaba wedde era mu run 2 mbanonya ku list sibalaba nako mwakola budde kikatonda watu Jonas Matayo uno wa 19
anti there's a penalty yalito buzibu naye right now but yeah and by the end of the day ngabuli mfo cha kuna ndoza
kwanga waliwo Just Mangat Sebuguzi Ronald Sebuguzi and Sebuguzi naite yatuka back for me so istegeza waliwo Just Mangat waliwo Mustafa Mukasa then Nasa Mutebi
Joshua Mwanguza as well in that mix as well
amu mchakuna yotuva tukira ku macha nga wakola SMK tires omundu ogwokubiri Just Mangat nadamu najiwangula 14:27 Jonas Matayo na kukumba 15:31 akuba busulwa 17:05 then Mustafa Mukasa 17:13 kataza bade nonya Nasa Mutebi mweyo wemba makola 15:31 then yena kwa 18:17 bale mujeke dakika 2 plus makera mwinaga
kati ate awo Nasa ngatula ali within reach because atemo yo stage ate muwanguzi mu story twamusanga mu swamp swamp kitaka ya mutawanya mko Joshua ya storingira mu farm kwa twava mu stage twagenda kula worldwide movers so that after that stage
and then worldwide mover ne tabuka
worldwide movers ne that is when I had the flag
wano waliwo red flagging wale nyuma nyonga section yetabusi
ogamba singe sazibwa
singa bajisazamu
tugenda mu worldwide movers SS6 yayi Just Mangat najiwangula 17:08 Joshua Mwanguza najiwangula 19:43 Nasa Mutebi 20:01 au Jonas Kansi mbyatabuka alino wansi 27:57
au kati yo stage yatujja ku
yabajamu
rally yes and olwabye ebyali after yo stage yatujja mu rally
yabajamu kugamba yali mwali mjuwangu
no yeah
ivanga mbaye
what's okudame tukola second best
yali ya bilibili
that's okudame tukola second best time ate tugenda kukola mu stage
ne Mustafa yava mu 10 n'abalia
Mustafa yava mu 10 n'amala mu
2
because the flatter if you look at her times neza Mustafa neza Nasa 27:57 ngoli Mustafa Joshua ina 19 in fact ate Joshua moyo rala ate yamalizwa disqualified Yeah, because he didn't teyakola super teyakola restart improper. Yewe yavaamu mu SMK nga bagikola ku macha ngali time ba kasajira n'afuluma teyadda musa ye yongera bweyongezi mu world movers
kubuulire ekintu ekyo kiri fani oyinza okisekerera munno naye nga section ebweba etabuse olowooza ensi yonna egitabuseeko ate
bo basigala bavuga and bamaliza baba disqualifying. Okay, so producer so tuwa ku overall kwanga power stage yavugibwa rally eyo by the last year the event yoketa avugibwa mu power stage last year ye event
nenga yawera mileage yawera gondi
mileage yawera
actually
mileage yawera
by yakola mileage ya 81%
because what means 75%
ate nekirala the magic ya COCT yakola ya magic yali ya kukiriza stage yali abandoned by other drivers kukiriza anti standing kubanga waliwo abavuza abali bagiseemu meaning the rest bafuna boogie time off the other one, so meaning stage be counting anti ekolebwa bwe bagatagatta time
as long as the first three cars
exactly abamu bayitamu so ne ba lendaringa stage eyo existing so
an active stage
ne deba ngesigaddeyo ne bakola passage eyo ne gwayo ne okumaliza mu final results ayawangulwa ka number 33 Nasa Mutebine Steven Munywa Mitsubishi Evolution X menanya 9 ngabakole sawa number dakika 3 ne seconds mukaga badilirwa Mustafa Mukaza mkuru number 20 ne Roles Mwambazi Mitsubishi Evolution Nasa 9 ngabakole sawa number dakika 4 business seconds 5 mukaga olo Jonas Matayo Kansime na mukuru number 100 ne Donald Bukenya Mitsubishi Evolution 8 ngabakole dakika sawa number dakika 4 mukaga ne seconds anamo 3 Didas Masiko ne Mtanda Alfred Subaru Impreza N14 ngakoze sawa namba dakika 5 seconds 16 Isaac Kasozi ne Monica Burinyo Subaru Impreza bakoze sawa namba dakika 5 seconds 17 Dr. Godfrey Sereko ne George JBMC Toyota Ranex dakika sawa namba dakika 5 ne seconds 5 Busurwa Kitaka Fred ne Joseph Bongole Subaru Impreza bako sawa namba dakika 5 seconds mukaga Faizo Kaira ne Kamoga Hakim Subaru Impreza bako sawa namba dakika 5 seconds mukaga Edward Chumira ne Shakira Nabwami Toyota Corona bako sawa namba dakika 5 seconds 3 Julius Semambo Mukalo ne Rubega Ibrahim Toyota Corolla kolo no gundi ya musomera pasua ani mweyo rale pasua ya musomera yakole sawa 2 ne dakika 1 seconds mukaga oro Kavuma Amiru ne Dori Nabira Subaru Impreza bakole sawa 2 ne dakika 8 seconds 3 notable retirements Mwalimu Ronald Sebuguzi ne Anthony Mugamba Posendo Lwakataka Paul Musazi Samuel Watendwa Alvin Ulimbaso Just Mangat Eno Kolinga tumwebaze Odion ne Asman Muhammad Rule Ismail Balonde Mugilbato ne Warujo Timothy Gawaya ne Katabarwa Mwanguzi Joshua Amzarwanga ne Katera Tofa ne Rudin Biraro
Then it's an event of course prize incorporate byagabirwa after the event walo issues ezaliwo incident ya jazz bamaiza mu general citing outside assistance then nebigabirwa ku Viga but ekirala kyali nti after that event there's one of the things I'm proud of about motorsport is try to claim the championship after that event after NRC 2 katugenda mu Pala
Jonas Kasimenga is number 1
yachobulanga mu Pala after the first 6 cars
is ARC
Mukula Patel Amza abali mu ARC category we were the first NRC on the road and we had a very day one first day to be achukamuko but day one it was a very good outing for us. I had a lot of time with those guys. He stage Regia visible.
Players
never red flag.
Kamboze mwakebedde kunkuba.
Amakuru malungi mukama bulungi. Katusabe enkuba ne bwena abezze emiroka zijja kusobola gayitamu.
Okay, producer so tuwa ku entry list ya event eno. gye tugenda mu NRC 2 tugiyita mu lukwakwayo then we ne Mildred introduced Kwali
and Mildred
Kwali namulabyeko
okay
ate leero nvuga Evo 10
kama katonda mulungi entry entry gye tulina entries as per now gye twasemba okufuna Amir Kavuma aline Kavuma Kenneth Subaru Impreza 2 drive
by a very good performance
very good driver of the rally driver Masaka
Amir Kavuma
barara
bajjam
season opener yali driver of
the rally mu bange
abakola bebakola twaitu tusubira okubikola
Amir Kavuma
yate Amir byakola
yayoza nkoboza
bannango omusajja yavuge
Amir yatambule
mbalala wano
naye ng'abalaba
Dr. Sereko Godfrey Crazy Dr. ne John Bosco MC
Toyota Ranix
Dr. Maseruka Henry ne Dennis Tibenda Toyota Ranix Sentongo Kigundu Nchima ne Babu Yusuf
baina event enungi yali event yawe yasooka mu CRC yes
baina event enungi Semambo Julius Mukalo ne Rukenge Jafar Toyota Corolla
abo bali bakusatu embalala
Pink Proto Godfrey Aine Sodo ne Hasban Mohammed Mitsubishi Evolution X Dr. Mustafa Mukasa aliko another omwana me afasoma not so Evolution 9 Postian Lwakataka
Mustafa yaline Seroga adene Seroga events bit ena ehoima naba naye embalala gule mwambazi
okay
yana ehoima naba naye ewa embalala I don't know
okay Postian Lwakataka mafumafu ne Paul Musazi Subaru Impreza 12B
bawangula
Jamada Lwabaga
Ponce wangula embalala
yes the leader the championship leader right now
no Musazi tumuchaza no agamba event ye yagenda musigala mu
Jamada Lwabaga ne Ismail Musoke Toyota Corolla FX Mike Mukula Junior Shiraji Chambadde Subaru Impreza N14
bafuna ebizibu abo mu stage yasooka
imotoka yabatewanya
manya okubira omuntu n'omubuuza olina ekizibu mu time card yo nasooka asirikira nagabwe seeyogera ono esiala ninamu
Aizasozi bisanirizo ne Mariam Nambasa Subaru Impreza N12
komyewo yaline
Walter
tiyavuga mbalala ateka alina upgrade kati N12 Mariam Nambasa
yagitudde ku
n'owulira
tujja kunyumirwa nnyo Walter Kibande Duncan Katumba team Walipadem
bawangula CRC
leaders right now Nasara team Seroga Joffrey Toyota FX
sokolinde ali Seroga aliwa Nasara team
oli yavuze n'another
tulina Ukasha Mugoya ne Katerega Hassan Subaru Impreza Aruna Kataza ne Lumu Isaac Subaru Impreza N12
abo nabo bakola
tebasula ku
times zali nungi naye that was their first event in N12 yeah an upgrade from the N8
okay Musa Segabwe ne Matthias Chiega Mitsubishi Evolution 9 baina bagula ploti embalala
baina bagira
tujja tujiranga abagalo jugula yaberi Nasa Mutebi ne Steven Bunya Evolution 9
yabere kureyo nayo na history embara Masaka bayendoza Masaka nase emulamu emiraza I was not even surprised
emizimu jiriao
I was not even
surprised ale kuno tunayo ka Pine Ridge stage tegeze chida kumpi neka
ina event je twali mu Masaka nayo oil ku disc nagamba enyoka bagamba nasa mufu okufuluma nga bakubye
afande Ismail Lule na another
uleka yako driver
ne another
leo wata yako driver wendi
ego kimanyi ba navigator bebiseera ebyo atayitako mu mikono gy'abande
Lule wata yako driver
wali
ngusabi
Haji Asalim Waiswa Gasemba ne Rugwa Dennis Toyota Vitz Peter Karule ne David Mwesigwa Subaru Impreza X Pastor
ne kale bambi yabona bulanye embalala eyo yamala nakombaira
omwami Ronald Sebuguzi na Anthony Mugamba for Fiesta Proto
kulu nayo na They had a very good event. A very clean event. Baina ne chance wangu rally by the way. They had yeah. If it wasn't for those punctures, because bagenda okufuluma match up nga gundi abakuba 48 seconds. So they had chance ne punctures zibajam.
Kevin Bebeto, Lawrence Mwambazi, Subaru Impreza N10.
Amamaza agamba wali awo taseguka ali London.
Hamid Katete
and they put up a very good performance. Bali bakubiri embalala. Mwambazi ne Bebeto first event ya Bebeto mu CRC.
Mansuru Bega omutundi ne Nabila Dorin.
Mani yafunye sponsorship.
Mansuru yafunye sponsorship era azze kulaga abantu sponsorship ngenda kudduka ebiriyo.
Ali mu motoka yali evugibwa Frank Tatia.
Corolla. Okay. Kurumira Edward Mayweather ne Monica Dorino Toyota Corona
bawangula two drive
Embarara
Monica na ye
badja ne defense ya manji
juka choje twalina ko wano nga after Embarara mono nga tugamba experience mu motoka ne Kirumira ga driver anyeze motoka so mu committinga ayiwayo momo all the best ne Mayweather wangula Embarara anonya championship yeso kama two drive yeah.
Yes. Nasib Sesanga ne Emmanuel Mugurusi, Peter Brown, then Toyota Serika pickup. Toyota pickup. Na performance simbi Embarara. Faizo Kaida Yanga ne Kamoga Hakim Subaru Impreza G8.
Ate Faizo Kaida ne Namara Prosper Embarara. Ne Katazania Hakim
Kamoga. Samuel Watendwa Alvin Ruimbazi Toyota FX. Samuel akomyeo.
Sama akomyeo ndo zali motoka ya Asimwe.
Yes. Okay. Alimu drive ya kumfuna motoka mpya by the way.
Nene sprint masa ndoza.
Haj Hamid Senyonjo ne Rubowa Charles.
Charles Rubowa.
Charles Rubowa yaliko. Toyota Corolla.
Charles abade manager wa team we.
Manager unange manyinga manager.
Chimanye gundi omulenzo no Muyanja. Sharif. Okay.
Simanya kwa liabitize.
Walo kuru entry number 30. Agati
entry number 30 Fred Kitakabusulwa ni mchala Mildred Kibuuka kwetuli na wano Subaru Impreza no Kamala.
Abadde odokwera mu cockpit.
Yes, abadde kali rastem kati. Name
mwete Luswahili olwa KINOTI.
Nda yakoma last year.
Mwete Luswahili luli.
Dinda kwa altegera atu.
Then we look crew number 31. The return. Abaine motoka. Samuel Bwete Kawunyemu. Alikone another. Musubaru Impreza N14.
Agwa munkubo.
Pro drive.
Agwa munkubo.
Pro drive.
Ebade ya Don Smith.
ARC winning car 2016.
Don Smith.
Formerly owned by Don Smith.
Negeno abamuzanwa.
Erimu Uganda.
Yakola kwa Bwete. Ne another mumanyi.
Abaine motoka. Ne another.
Another mumanyi.
Onamundegera.
Another mumanyi.
Another mumanyi.
Another mumanyi. Ena mumanyi. Mumanyi. Omwasa
another tujja mutegera toza bagara kibugira mu kisenge
era jja kujja
eringa lubuto
crew number 32 Dr. Mustafa Mukasa bamuzemu ogwokubiri another Mitsubishi Evolution 9 ejo abatutegereze number 33 Didas Masiko Joseph Bongole
ayo nayo kulwe tandise okujeringa bajja kuba bazibu
no okutegerera
Bongole awali
tereza bulungi. Crew number 34 Yasin Nasa Ali Katumba Subaru Impreza GVB. Inje somye bili wano.
GVB yakabichu kyakawumuza.
Crew number 35 Duncan Mubiru Chikankane ne Joseph Kamia Ford Fiesta Proto. Crew number 36 Yokana Consta ne Bashir Mbogo Ford Fiesta Proto.
Soko tuwabo chishate.
Crew hiyo
nyamba chishi.
Timu zijuvu. Waliwo buzibu wao?
Waliwo buzibu. Ati mwako mavuga jinji. Konsa kumavuga jinji last year.
Tuwavuga 26.
Ngamba murali. Eri sprint. Eri sprint. Rally. Jinja. Mba mu section esoka. Tuwe entry number 37.
Entry number 37. Mwanguzi Joshua Omoro Lion. Another.
Amza ranga chichi.
Subaru Impreza N12. Hamza Luanga, commissioner wa Kibuuka.
For the youth commissioner. Tugenda Masaka. Anticipation zo. Angejo li fresh okuva mu safari.
Yali kama
sanyalaze. Wali kama sanyalaze.
Wacha. Well, era.
Weti dry.
Nze mpulira na simanyi. I don't know what to expect. Na ye nsaba Katonda atuwa obudde obulungi.
Kwa era yekuba yatonya ku Sunday. Ku Sunday teyatonya ne Friday yatonya.
Ale kuno tujuga tulinawo era birungi byerere. Katusabe.
Lwaleero enkuba yonna ogimanyi kati olaba eya last year bwe yataataaganyizibwa nnyo kati you don't know what to expect kiki emmotoka newe bannamulwakiri ekola bweti
laba kayushi
naye twavugaawo producer singa kuwa munana we yayitaawo producer soko tuwe ku munana we yayitaawo munana yayitaawo just abadde setting
emigweri
producer ameza akasajja naye twayitaawo ate singa awaddakaawo ddakali nkyalabawo akimawana manager yali abikola nekyabp yagaana akimawana yali manager but Aaron parting shots Masaka
rallies upon us so katabyonna it's okubiri tutambule bulungi don't drink and drive your life matters most tukwetaaga ng'oli mulamu ekyokusatu
iyo munana kanyawola be setting y'emmotoka setting y'emmotoka setting y'emmotoka mipiira tereine abana tugamba
tugende Masaka event is upon us tugende tunyumirwe naye twekuume tutoyimira mu makubo bamasho bakudirectors okubeera obobeera tukwetaaga a good rally a safe rally is a good rally is a safe rally so tuna buzibu bonna mu event eno tujje tunyumirwe fena kitugatta omuzannyo ogwo gw'emmotoka paka tetwetaaga kuva eyo nga tufunyeemu obuzibu kubanga twetegekera ekinene ekijja mu maaso kya ARC ya Power of Africa Uganda Rally omwezi nga wanzwanga gumu after this so twekuume bulungi nnyo tambule bulungi tugende Masaka event tesobola kuba butabaayo ndowooza Friday yescnearing Saturday tulina stages 4 before kasaawe stage esooka 26 stage eyokubiri 23 stage eyokusatu 12 stage 12 ne bagiddamu omulundi ogwokubiri yes kirungi stage eyokubiri eyokusatu eyo eri kumpi n'akasaawe just they are beside each other so oluva mu kasaawe wanova malo servicinga odayo novuga 12 ezo ayo nojja nowetegekera akasaawe so stage eyo so Saturday longer
stage eyo gyogambye elinanya akasaawe bwogimala ojja mu kasaawe todda mu service
and then that covers the 70%. Yeah, exactly. Right, Saturday and Sunday 70%, Sunday 30%.
Yes. Then Sunday we have 4 stages. 4 stages. The first 3, then you repeat 1 as power stage.
You call us service, power stage.
Power stage.
Power stage tujivuga before day 2.
Yeah.
Tujivuga day 1.
Tujivuga day 2. Maybe ku day 2 ku Sunday. Ku Sunday there are 3 more stages.
Tetumalira sembabule.
Yanti yezo.
Kale nina a number of messages but that time is fast spent but all I can say is mwebale kubeerako okujjako wano agamba nti it should be a wet event. Okay, baganyo rallying eri very wet.
Tetujjayo skills zaffe ng'enweti tuleke dry machine.
Adabuza nti kishi managing kati constant.
No.
There's a question from a viewer.
Akyakwasaganya kya time.
Nchatereza club yange By the way, members pera tutekeke bulungi nnyo tugende tukole event ebere nnungi kimanyi kisoboka. We've done it before over rain over sunshine ejja solo kituukiriza bulungi.
Uganda Motorsport
Marshals Association.
naliko kutisemu mu event yaggwa abawuma ebayogera bisana off air. Kale, that's all we've had for you guys. Mildred bali twegatako fresh from Makambuze ku mukyala avudde safari.
Kanebaze one two.
Yes,
Nange mpomso.
ojakozijako goni amambe webaze
Mama,
Jagufuna off.
nebaza family yange mbeereddewo bwesiba babaawo then nenebaza n'omwami Jackson yampa omukisa because waliko bangi abaasaba naye balonda mwange.
Okay, JJ, kudos to you for that very good initiative. Guys, tujja kuda ku Monday. Na bina every dem event, of course China yabagende safari mu Kenya. Tino Wamala, Francis Wamala, Timothy Gawaya, Yasin Nasa, Ali Katumba. Tebana tuwa there mbaga embozi tebankadde. Tujja kuwafuna in one of our shows, but we how things transpired in Kenya. Kale, that's all we've had for you. We'll get back next week with all the latest in the world of motorsport. Mr. Bunjera, mwera.
Thank you.